Okay, how is everybody doing today? How's everybody doing? So let's jump right into this today. I want to get into a couple things, but first ASD Docs is an investigative journalist. If you guys are not familiar with his channel, please make sure that you subscribe to his channel, especially his channel called Don Andre Investigates. I do have a live stream coming up at 7:30 p.m. on Accountability for All's channel. So when I hang up here, I will be heading over to Accountability for All's channel. Unfortunately, ASD got an emergency call for a case he is investigating, and he had to step out. So forgive me that he's not here, but I'm going to get into some of the things today that what happened in Ironton and why exactly. Let me just fix a couple things real quick here because I didn't anticipate. Oh, fudge it. That'll work. I think that'll work. That will work right there. Let's just go like this. There we go. Okay. And let me stick this in here real quick, guys, and then I'm going to get right into it. Forgive me, guys. I'm just I wasn't planning on missing ASD, but he had to go. He had an emergency. He has an investigation he's doing. You guys check out his channel called Don Andre Investigates. It's an absolutely wonderful channel. ASD is a very good friend of mine. We've been friends for quite a while. Okay. So let's just jump right into a couple things about what's going on in Ironton, Ohio. I just got out of the shower. First time I've been to the gym in 6 days because my neck was kinked so bad from James Sheets' murder, and knowing that man was murdered, and it kind of messed me up for a little while. It really hurt me inside. I don't know who you are, Jonathan, or I'd call you. So let's answer some of the harder questions that I was going to go over with ASD Docs. So the first question is, why didn't I go to court today? Well, because it's a kangaroo court, because it's a corrupt, tyrannical state court, that it's a misdemeanor charge, but they had already filed to revoke my bond. And so then what they did is, I talked about this last night, talking in the dark. What they did is they had the pigs in Ironton write an affidavit saying that I came within 100 feet of them, which would have violated Judge Waldo's stipulations to my bond, which I didn't agree to. And so, me walking into going into jail, that wasn't a good idea. And you have to understand, remember, a lot of you guys don't, and I want to say this as nice as I can, because I'm not trying to belittle anybody, and especially myself. As you know, I got Bobby Law on speed dial, and so what you guys don't understand is the processes of law, because the law is very intricate, very, very intricate. You have case law that backs up different positions in multiple different avenues. And so what happens is you may think something, like one of the resounding text messages I got is, oh, you're for law and order, but you didn't follow the law. The law wasn't being followed for me. Due process of law was being ignored into such a state that it created tyranny. Judge Waldo will be removed from my case. I guarantee it. And just so you guys know, I don't have a felony warrant. They issued a bench warrant for me in Ohio. I'm not in that state. So there's no felony warrant for me. It doesn't affect my gun rights. It doesn't affect my freedom anywhere but in Ohio. So when Judge Waldo created the stipulations for my bond that I didn't agree to, the bond conditions, I objected to them. And he said that if I come within 100 feet of the filthy, nasty pigs in Ironton, that my bond could be revoked. That's what he told me in court. And then those same filthy pigs wrote an affidavit saying that I had violated the conditions of my bond. And then the judge said we need to have a bond hearing. I'm not walking into a dungeon. That's not being for law and order when they wouldn't let me file motions all week. That's a tyrannical state. And so what are we seeing over and over and over? We're seeing across the country, and this is the reason why I wanted to have the interview with ASD Docs today, because ASD Docs channel was demonetized. And I'm going to save it because we're going to talk later. I'm going to save it. I'm not going to tell his story. I'm going to let him tell his story because I wanted to interview him so you guys could see that when you poke your eyes into the judicial system, into the judicial branch of government, that they'll reach out to YouTube and they'll get your channel demonetized so you can't make any money. And as you guys know, the reason why I raise money for so many people all the time is because we're living in scarcity. We don't have any money. You know, Aaron Collins is a good example. Aaron Collins, Great Lake Audits, what an amazing human being. This guy, the tenacity, the research, the depth of character that Great Lake Audits has, but yet he was railroaded into a prison system, into a jailing system. They put the man in, oh, there he is. There's Great Lake Audits right there. You know, they put that man, Great Lake Audits, he's right there. Make sure you subscribe to his channel, and Accountability for All. Both of them are in the room. They put Aaron Collins in a dungeon for filming a mail carrier. And then she tried to say that I was colluding with Aaron to harass her. Do you understand? And so the judge put him in jail. The judge filled out a restraining order against him and then stamped it and said it's good. Do you understand? Do you understand? Like, that's the system we're living in. And me going and walking into Ironton, remember, so the talk I gave last night, I want to put it in context for you, because I talked about two different things. One was biblical, one was Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power, opposite books. I mean, kind of. So I said, pride cometh before the fall. And what does that mean exactly? What that means is for me to be so prideful and so boastful and so arrogant, to believe that I'm going to walk into Ironton and that corrupt piece of poo, Judge Waldo, that he's not going to revoke my bond based on the affidavits of the pigs that were sent to the location where I was by Pam Wagner, throw mama from the train, then that is just the height of pride. Pride cometh before the fall. And how many stories did we hear about people from Ironton getting beat up, raped, or killed inside of Lawrence County Jail? And the sheriff, Jeff Lawless, recalljefflawless.com, is a corrupt piece of poo. So what they would do is they would have walked me into a dungeon, and then either the guards or the inmates they would have used to try to hurt me. Remember, if they lock me in solitary confinement for a month, it can make you go cuckoo. That's a fact. Look it up. If they remove all forms of communication from your brain, then your brain cells shrink. That's a fact. These are simple facts of neurology. Your brain doesn't function properly without the proper interaction with human beings. The prison studies that I've read, you see that when someone gets out of prison and they spend time, months or even years inside of solitary confinement, they lose all ability to sync with other human beings. They don't know how to walk at the same pace as the person next to them because they haven't been doing it. They don't have an interaction with a woman that's healthy because the only thing they've known has been this barbaric Lord of the Flies situation that they were forced into. So pride cometh before the fall. And so I will not put myself in some sort of prideful situation where I'm going to say, oh, I'm going to walk into Ironton because I don't want to let the people down and I'm so prideful. No, why would I do that? I let the people down if I allow them to railroad me and put me into a dungeon so that we stop this movement for transparency. And here's a good example of that. As you guys saw it, right, that Judge Waldo denied my due process of law. So while I'm a man for law and order, Waldo denied my due process of law, didn't let me file any motions. He didn't let me file the motions so I could appear telephonically through video, so I can do a continuance. And so now the next motions we're filing are I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna get Bobby Law on the phone here in a minute, and we're gonna talk about and I'm gonna let Bobby talk about some things. Bobby Law's channel should be coming out this weekend. We're still working on a couple more things for the. Thanks, Smile Kyle. Appreciate it. But I just want you guys to understand the reason why I didn't go to court today is because I'm not going to a court based on rule of law. I'm going to a court based on a tyrannical judge in a tyrannical state, in a tyrannical town. That's what I'm walking into. And that's not right. There's no reason I should have to go to a dungeon when I haven't hurt anybody, when I've created no victims. There's no damage to a building or to an automobile or to someone's personal property where restitution needs to be made. You see? And you guys saw that Zane went in to go file from mobile massage. He went in to go file my motions with blue ink on them, and they refused to accept the motions and wouldn't write on them. So there's no paper trail. Do you follow? So let me ask you a question. Do you think it would be smart for me to walk into the dungeon in Lawrence County? What do you think would happen to me? They would say, oh, he got into a fight with another inmate, and I guess they stabbed him in the side and he died. And then the leadership that I've exemplified over the past 9 months of my life about leading to go to a new system based on transparency, it dies with me. And then the people who are in Ironton, Ohio, who are afraid, who don't have someone to fight for them, then I'm gone. And so now what do they see? That the person who came there to fight for them was killed by those people. And then they lose hope. And when you lose hope, my friends, all is lost. When you can't see that the sun will come out tomorrow, that's when people kill themselves. That's when people jump. I'm not that way. I am not suicidal by any way, shape, or form. I know that the sun will come out tomorrow. I'm telling you, though, if I allowed myself to be bullied by a tyrannical system, my life could end. And with it, the hopes of so many people who are counting on me and relying on me. None more than my buddy Jim over there in the Midwest. Thank you, Jim, for your support. Jim, your support it matters to me so much. I'm just totally transparent. I can't help it because everything about me is being investigated. So I just have to be totally transparent. This morning, when I drove into the state that I'm in today now, I got on the phone with Jim, one of my supporters, and he's a major backer of mine. And we cried on the phone this morning that we're on the cusp of change, and finally, the boomers and Gen Xers, we finally get to see the change happen in our lifetime. That this system of tyranny will come to an end because of this camera phone. Because what happened in the court? They won't allow you to film in the clerk's office. The sheriff's office is now piping music in there, so you can't have transparency. You can't audio record your hearing in court. And why? Why? Because we can see plain as day that you're not getting fair treatment in court. You're being cheated. You are being cheated. Eugene Aldridge, who is American Pride, Ohio. Eugene Aldridge was charged with a felony. This isn't anything he hasn't said out loud. I'm not talking about Gene behind his back. Eugene Aldridge sat down with me and we did an interview and we talked for 20 minutes. And Eugene Aldridge explained to me that he'd been charged with a felony and the judge gave him a bench trial. I mean, God bless Eugene. I'm so sorry, brother. I'm so sorry that happened to you. When you're charged with a felony where you could go to prison, you get a jury trial. Every time you go in front of one of these kangaroo courts, you have to object to everything. I don't understand. I object to that. I do not agree to that. I object to what you're saying. I do not agree to that. I do not follow that. I do not subscribe to that. when Waldo said he was going to stipulate he was going to create stipulations for my bond, I said, I don't agree to this. I don't agree to this. They put in stipulations so they could violate me on my bond when I had already said I'm going to the Ironton auction, I'm going to the city council meeting, and then they sent pigs there who were part of the stipulations to my bond, and then Judge Waldo immediately moved for affidavits from those pigs to say that I violated my bond when Pam Wagner, you dunce cap, Pam, how dumb are you, lady? Pam Wagner is a town drunk. Did you guys know that? Pam Wagner, you can catch her at the bar any weekend night. You can catch Pam getting wasted almost regularly. They have to carry her out to the car lots of times. Did you know that? Did you know that Pam Wagner is a full-blown alcoholic? Did you know that? According to multiple sources, she's a full-blown alcoholic. And that's the chief of police in Ironton who wrote an affidavit, dunce cap that she is, that said, I sent the cops to where DeCastro was at the auction. I sent the cops to where DeCastro was at the city council meeting. You dunce cap, Pam. You walked your Judge Waldo into a federal civil rights lawsuit, along with Elaine. What's her name again? Let me tell you what her name is. The woman's name is Elaine. I'll tell you her name. Elaine, you're getting sued, honey. You dunce cap. You dunce cap. You see, now I wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't be able to do any of these things if I was in a dungeon right now. As a matter of fact, they'd have me up against a wall. They'd be looking up my butt crack. They'd be putting their fingers into my armpits, into my ears. They'd be checking my mouth. I wouldn't have a toothbrush. I wouldn't be able to floss my teeth. Imagine what would have happened to me had I agreed to participate in a kangaroo court like Judge Waldo's. I mean, the man's criminal. He's a criminal. The reason why he's criminal is because he knows the processes of law. And he violated them. He's a criminal. The man's an absolute criminal. So the clerk's name at Ironton is named Elaine Kleinman. Elaine, you're getting listed in a federal civil rights lawsuit. So now what we're seeing is that it's a full conspiracy. It's a full conspiracy in Ironton, Ohio, from the patrolman on the street all the way up to the judge. And the county commissioners are in on putting money into rehabs. And you got McWhorter, Judge McWhorter, and you have Judge Waldo, and you have the previous judge there, what's his name again? But they all ran on a ticket that they would create drug court for rehabs, and now the county commissioners own the rehabs. You don't think that's coincidence? You don't think that's funny? I do. So it's a kangaroo court. It's a kangaroo court. That's what it is. It's a joke of a court. It's pathetic. It's reprehensible. It's disgusting. And so people are like, and people write me and say, oh, you're a coward. You didn't show up for court. Are you kidding me, dude? Walk into a dungeon? Just walk myself right into a dungeon where your luck really goes downhill. Because remember what the first process is. Put your hands behind your back and be put in torture cuffs. And then after that, they're going to make you turn around, squat, and cough. And I've already told them I will not be strip searched. So what does that mean then? If the prison guards decide that I will be strip searched and I won't be strip searched, I will not. Then what happens to me? Think about that for a moment. What have I done to be strip searched? What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? What have I done to be strip searched? Why would I need to be strip searched for what? Why? Everybody knows I don't put guns up my butt. No, everybody knows that I don't put drugs up my bottom. So why do they need to look up my butt? Because it's a way to demoralize you. It's a way to dehumanize you. It's a way for you to be considered less than. That's what it is. And I won't tolerate that. I'm not going to put up with that. We're all going to disagree with the idea that we would be put into a dungeon and that we would be subjected to that kind of torture, to that kind of mistreatment, to that kind of abuse. There's just no reason why we should be subjected to that, you know? Maybe we should do it after AFA, because we only have 6 minutes before AFA begins. ASD Docs, guys. ASD Docs. ASD Docs.
Hi, everyone.
So this is a very good friend of mine. We've been talking since June.
It's been a while.
Yeah, and we finally got to meet in real life. Obviously, I had to leave Ironton, and I want to ask him a lot of questions about his channel, and he has questions he want to ask me back and forth. So we're gonna do our interview after AFA. I'll be going over to Accountability for All in 6 minutes, 7 minutes. So I'll be heading over there. But then after that, I think 8 o'clock, 8:30, then I'm going to do an interview with ASD Docs, and we're both going to go live. And then ASD is the man. If you guys, and remember, his backup channel is called Don Andre Investigates.
Yes.
So your channel was demonetized, right?
Yes. So for those of you that don't know, my channel was demonetized not too long ago, a little over a month ago. And I just woke up one day and every single video on my channel was demonetized.
Why was that though?
We can only speculate. I have no idea. Like I said, we can only speculate, and we think it has to do with, the content, the videos, me exposing corrupt officers, judges, attorneys. Yeah. So I think that really got it. I'm assuming I'm not really sure, to be honest.
No, let me answer for him.
Yeah.
He was demonetized because the judges in Utah got together, reached out to the brass at Google, and they demonetized his YouTube channel.
Allegedly.
Well, that's what I believe.
Right.
I believe that's what happened to him.
Right.
He exposed the judges for being corrupt. He exposed the prosecutor. He exposed the public pretenders that we talk about so much on this channel. The public pretenders were literally pretending for Mr. Sanchez, correct?
Yes. Yes, they in the video, the court corruption case with Luis Sanchez, you can hear in that video, as they're going against their own client. They're trying to put him in jail. And you got to see part 1 and part 2. Part 2 does a good job of.
What's the title of the videos?
It's court corruption, massive court corruption. If you just look up massive court corruption, Luis Sanchez, it should be the first one up there. I said watch defense attorneys conspire against their own client. That's the name of the video. I couldn't remember for a sec there, but. And
you guys, I want you to subscribe to his monetized channel now called Don Andre Investigates. Is that correct?
Yep, Don Andre Investigations. That's DON Andre Investigations.
Don Andre Investigations. You guys, everybody, there's 600 people here. Let's get him 600 more subs if you're not already subscribed to Don Andre Investigations. Because this man, he literally, we had an interview set. He had someone he had to talk to. We'll just leave it at that. And he had to go because he's been working on the same case since 2020.
Yep. That's yep. And I'm super excited because I've been working on this case since 2020, and it's a name that you guys may be familiar with if you follow ASD Docs. And I think I just cracked a massive link in the story, So I'm super excited to work on it.
Let me ask you this, Don. You know what just happened. Do you think I should have gone to court, or do you think that I did the smart move by not going to court?
I think you did the considering all of the facts and considering what we know, I think you did the intelligent thing in all of this, because had you just, who knows how long you would have been put away, right? I don't really know all the facts of the case. From what I understand, this is a very corrupt, and I believe in court corruption. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've investigated it with Luis Sanchez, and so at this point, nothing really surprises me. So when I hear Chille talking about his case and I'm seeing what's going on, I could easily believe that there is corruption in his case as well, especially doing it in the manner that he's doing it with so many followers and so many views that he's getting. Ironton, Ohio, no one really knew what was going on there until you arrived, and so I think that you brought a lot of attention there. And so what happens when you uncover corruption? You get your channel demonetized, like I did, or you get canceled, or you know what I mean, they go after you. They go after you in different ways, in subtle ways. So I believe it. You know, I could definitely see how the judge in this case, or the officers in this case, everyone involved in this case, could possibly be corrupt or are corrupt.
Yeah, they are. I mean, if I had gone back, I would be in jail right now.
Right.
And we wouldn't be talking right now. And all the people who believe in the movement of transparency, they would be like, well, you know, Chille was leading this and now he's in jail. And how long I would be in jail, he said he didn't know how long I'd be in jail for. I'd be in jail until my trial was over, because my bond would be revoked, meaning that I would be in jail for at least 6 months. Minimum.
That's what it would be.
Oh, at least 6 months. And then of course the judge and the prosecutor, they would have problems. They'd have to postpone the case for 21 days, postpone the case for 10 days. And meanwhile, each one of those days is like a week. Each week is like a month. Each minute is like an hour in the dungeon. It's horrifically bad. Horrifically bad. I mean, it is really, really bad. So that's why I didn't go back, and I wouldn't go back. And I'm not going to go back until Waldo's removed. And I'm going to get him removed by adding him to the federal lawsuit, because he's violating my rights of due process. And I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm not going to enter tyranny.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about on when we do our interview, because I think it's wild at the amount of hate that you're receiving. So I just want to make quick move. When we do our interview, it's going to be on my channel and on yours, so you're probably going to go back live, and we're going to talk about that as well. I think it's wild that there are channels out there that are making, you know, a career off of, you know, your name. So
it's pretty crazy.
It is wild. It's everywhere. I see you everywhere.
You guys hit your like button. Take your finger right here. Reach down there. Hit the like button. Take your finger right there. Reach down and hit the like button. Just do this for me real fast. Take your finger from right here, wherever it is, and right down there is the thumbs up button. Everybody hit the thumbs up button real quick. I got about a minute left here, and then I'm going to have everybody go over to Accountability for All's channel, because Accountability for All and I are going to talk. You're welcome to stay in the chat, on Don Andre, if you want to stay in, because I like you here, man. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate the support, dude. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me.
Excellent work.
You know, it means a lot to me that he's here. And so, you know, I just wanted to let you guys know, just coming out of my mouth before Josh asked me the question, or Don Andre asked me the question, you know, don't be stupid. Don't be so prideful that you walk into a tyrannical system and then expect not to get a tyrannical result, which would have been me in a dungeon. It would have been me in a dungeon. That's what it would have been. So 262 likes. I probably have about 200 haters in here, but that means there's another 250 people who have not hit the like button. Just hit the like button. Just take your finger, hit the like button. Just do it real quick. It'll help me a lot. And then I'm going to jump off here in less than 60 seconds now. You guys go by DeleteLawZ, pick up a trifold. I've asked everybody to do this. That's how you can support. We're going to do a fundraiser this weekend for Bobby Law, for Great Lake Audits, and for my legal defense. So we'll be doing a fundraiser this weekend. So I'm just announcing it now up front, because we have to. We absolutely have to. You know, and then the other thing is I'm filing lawsuits this week. Okay, so Accountability for All's here, guys. He just entered in the room and asked me to pop over to his channel. We do have a live stream set. So everybody go over. There's 666 people here. Everybody go over to Accountability for All's channel right now, if you would, please. I'm also going to call Bobby Law on the phone. I'm going to bring him into the chat over on AFA. And thanks you guys for coming. I appreciate it. And just remember one thing. We don't stop, and we'll never stop. I won't stop if you don't stop. All right, I got to get the flock out of here. Don Andre?
See you guys.
I'll see you guys over on AFA, Accountability for All. I'll see you guys there. Thanks for your support. I'll see you on the next one. Later.